got to show you a picture of her. She must have been this tall.
Who was that?
My grandma Nana,
Yeah.
my father's mother.
Uh-huh. And she was your father's,
Mother,
your real father?
my real father.
Ah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
My mother's mother, I never knew her, but I saw pictures of her. And
Right.
she died. She had a baby 2 years old when she died, too.
Now, your mother passed away, and then you said your grandmother passed away 2 years
Her mother
later.
passed away 2 years later.
And that was from the brain cancer.
Well, I don't know if she had brain cancer. They said she used to get a lot of headaches, and she used to lay down a lot. My grandfather said one day, oh, she used to get headaches, she had to go lay down. So probably that's what it was, but who knew in those days?
Right.
She probably never even went to the doctor. But she had jet black hair. She wasn't light skinned. She had like a medium dark skin, and yet her children all, my Tissy Annie, her skin was white as snow.
Hmm.
But Tissy had her picture, a big picture on the wall.
And who Tsitsi is? Who's Tsitsi?
Tissy Annie was Sal's mother, Jimmy's mother, and that was my mother's sister.
And that was Ann's,
Ann's mother,
oh, Ann's mother.
Patty's mother,
Okay. Okay.
and she was my mother's sister.
So, and then,
My
and then,
mother was the oldest.
and so Patty had brain cancer also.
Well, we think so.
So it was
because
related-
that's what she died of.
Related, and she was related to your grandmother.
That was her grandmother too.
Ah, okay. So there you go.
Yeah. And then who else? And Sal asked Jimmy to ask me. He said, ask Cousin Lucy if anybody in our family ever went blind. Because I don't know what case came up that he wanted to know about. And I said, Jesus, I don't remember. I was a little girl. But then I did remember we had an uncle that went blind. And Sal thought that was hereditary with the eyes, because Ann's got bad eyes. Now Sal had to go for glasses, and who else in the family? So he wanted to know the history on the eyes. I said I was 12, 13 years old, and I remember all those things.
You remember a lot of stuff.
I do remember a lot because I was involved with a lot. Nana was up and down those stairs 1,000 times a day
What stairs were those?
to come in my house. She lived on the second floor above me, and she was constantly in and out. And she liked when I was cooking, or she didn't like when I was cooking.
Now, your mother used to do all the cooking, and then you kind of took over for her?
Oh, yeah, yeah. She had the store. My mother had the store till she was about, not quite 60 is when she retired.
Yeah. What kind of store was that again?
Like a restaurant, a small restaurant. She had 4 tables in the front, 4 tables in the back room. Then my uncle took over the store, made a pool room out of it. And we kids used to go play on the pool table, and he wanted to kill us because he'd say, if that pad tears, it's going to cost me $2,000. I don't want you in that room. And I would sneak in there in the morning and play pool.
Who'd you play with?
My brother.
Yeah.
My sisters never were around. My sisters were the hotsy-totsy. They never came to see Grandma. And Grandma used to say to me, if I saw your sisters in the street, I wouldn't know them. I said, Nana, if you saw anybody in the street, you don't know them because you can't see. So I used to yell at her, and she would yell back at me.
How many cups of coffee do you drink a day, every day?
3. Then I don't want no more during the day. But when I was young, I drank maybe 10 cups a day.
10?
Oh yeah, I drank a lot of coffee in my time.
You think that's a tribute to your old age?
No, only till I was about 60, I drank a lot of coffee.
What do you tribute to your old age? You're 95. You're going to be 96 in December.
Mhm. My grandmother died of, what the hell did they call it?
Cancer?
A urinating problem, no. just went into a coma one night.
Her kidneys failed.
And her kidneys failed. Well, you know why? She used to hold it in to go to the bathroom all the time. So a lot of times she said, "Oh, I didn't go to the bathroom all day today."
You used to do that too.
Yeah,
Yeah, but she's 95.
yeah. Grandma didn't make it. She was 83 when she died,
Hmm.
and she was a little bit of a thing. She had 3 skirts, 3 black ones and 1 brown. And somebody bought her the brown. I don't know if it was Aunt Mary or Aunt Shay. And it had all buttons on the side of the skirt. You could have worn the front of the button. She didn't want that skirt. And she'd say to me, "Put it away. I don't want it." And I say, "Nana, it's a pretty skirt. I don't want it. All those buttons." I said, "Well, take the buttons off." They were only there for looks. They didn't close. But she liked these big, heavy skirts. And I don't know how the hell she went to the farm and worked with them because they were hot as could be.
And she only had 2 skirts. That's all she wore.
3 black ones
and that's
and a brown.
and that's all she wore every single day.
No, then she had some nice dresses because Aunt Mary used to buy her pretty clothes. But she used to put them away. And this one dress was like a black and white print, little print. Once in a while she would put that on. She put it on for his baptism.
Artie's.
I never remember Grandma wearing anything but black.
Yeah, that's all she wore. And she put the dress on. And my Uncle Pat said to her, "Mom, you look so nice in a dress." Well, she said, "This is a special occasion. It's for my grandson. I'm wearing it." Well, she adored him, but she wouldn't pick him up. I used to say to her, "Sit on the bed and I'll put him in your arm." No, 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 no. She would put her hands like this, but she didn't want to hold him. But then she would go in his little bassinet and she would play with his hands. She would rub him and rub. And she must have came down 50 times a day, in and out, not to rub his hand. Then when he got big, and one day my Aunt Mary bought him a holster set. Well, she wanted to hit my Aunt Mary. She said to my Aunt Mary, "What do you bring him that stuff? You want him to grow up to be a gangster?" And Aunt Mary said, "There's toys, Ma." And she didn't want to know it. And I got a picture of that
Paid a lot of
holster
money for
set.
it.
Huh?
Paid a lot of money for that.
That was a beautiful.
It's almost like real.
It used to fall on him. We went to, where did we go, to Radio City?
Madison Square Garden.
Madison Square Garden. And it would be falling on him, and he'd have to stop to pick it up.
And my picture taken with Dale Evans and Roy Rogers.
Yeah.
You got your picture taken with Dale
Yeah,
Evans and Roy
yeah.
Rogers?
They
Wow.
don't, he was dressed as a little cowboy. And Roy Rogers said, "What do we have here?" And she said to him, "What an adorable little boy you are." So he ate that all up.
I didn't know, you did.
How old was he? You about 4 or 5?
5 maybe.
That's cute.
Spend a lot of money for that outfit. A suede jacket.
Well, you used to spend a lot of money on Artie.
I did. I didn't buy clothes for myself after he was
He was
born.
voted the best
And
dressed
I
in high
started looking
school.
like a rag picker. Huh?
Remember, he was voted best dressed in high
In
school.
high school.
And in grade school, he wouldn't go.
And well, they didn't have it in grade school, but he would have made it then because the principal used to call me when I would go to PTAs and he'd say, "I cannot believe the fashion plate that child is. I have never seen a little boy dressed like that."
He told me one time that he kids would pick on him because he was dressed so nice.
Oh, I loved the way he used to dress. No, nobody picked on him. Who did? Your folks. Only that one boy that you got to fight with.
Yeah.
Well, he was a
He
rascal.
wasn't the only one, but
And Artie said, "What did you say, Artie, about that?"
I used to tell him I had to go home and change my clothes before.
And then I'll come back and fight you. And then Uncle John and my husband went to watch him. And I wanted to, well, I had a big fight with Daddy over that. I said, "Why are you encouraging that?" Well, let him knock his block off. When I took him home from the hospital, I had all his clothes made when he was born. Susie Jackson, who was my girlfriend, and her husband was his godfather. She made all his clothes. She even made his first bunting suit that he come home from the hospital in blue fur, and she sent for it in Italy. And that Angora jacket she sent for in Italy. And she used to call him Nini. I love my Nini.